Hi Dee, how you
You're
doing?
right. Yeah, I'm just gonna close the window because it's blowing really loud.
No problem.
Uh, that's better.
And you made it in. Zoom
Yeah,
worked.
I know. I can never do it on your link, so I don't know why. Last night, everything was taking me to the next week's thing on the
All right.
website, app, on the email. I just scroll right the way down to the first one you sent me.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's really strange.
Yeah, I was
Um,
like, oh, it's weird.
um, cool. Well, thank you for booking today's session. Is there anything you'd like to share before we go and ask your guides how best to help?
No, just that I'm open. I want to learn. I want to see what's there for me. Thank you, and
Okay,
I appreciate you in advance. Thank
fantastic.
you.
Well, let's see what magic awaits us. Um, and so we have this session is an hour and a half, so we'll see just see how it goes, and
Yeah,
we'll see what adventures we experience.
thank you.
Okay, so if you'd like to begin and join me by taking in three deep breaths in through the nose, nice and deep, hold and breathe out through the mouth what no longer serves our highest good. Breathe in through the nose, nice and deep, and release any low vibration energy or entities. Breathe in through the nose, nice and deep, and release anything that no longer serves our highest good. Continue to breathe deeply and calmly. And from the divine sparks in the center of our hearts, we extend a light cord up to the top of our heads, through the sky and through the stars, going higher and higher until we reach the highest dimension, the source of this universe. And there we connect in our light cord into the source of love. And just expand out our light cord like a spider's web, feeling that oneness, that unity, that love, that feeling of home. Remain connected into source and extend our light cords down through the stars, through the sky, back down to the top of our heads and into our hearts once more. And now from the center of our hearts, we extend our light cords down through the roots of our spine, all the way down through the layers of the planet, going deeper and deeper until we reach the very core of Mother Earth. And there, connecting our light cords into Mother Gaia's crystalline heart. Remain connected into Gaia's heart and extend our light cords up through the layers of the planet, through the root of our spine and into our hearts once more. And just allow from the highest dimension of source above that we connected to, allow a waterfall of golden light to flow down from the highest dimension of source, down in and around our light cord, and to come down to the top of our heads, through our crown chakras, in through every aspect of us, opening every atom, every cell, every dimension of our being to receive this healing, clearing, and energizing love of Source. And allow anything that doesn't serve us to flow down through the cord that we connected into Mother Gaia and allow that energy to dissipate into Mother Gaia for her to transmute and to use as food to fuel other beings on this planet. And from the center of our hearts, we now expand out our golden bubbles of protective light to about 2 meters out from the center of our hearts to surround each of us individually, surrounding our auric fields in every dimension of us, setting the intention that only energies and entities with our permission, with our highest good and our love and our compassion, can see us, access us, or exist within this space or within us, and that all other energies and entities must leave us immediately. Into our bubbles, we invite in our guides, our higher selves, every dimension of us, our ancestors, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Source, and Gaia. We invite in Archangel Haniel, all for our guidance, clearing, healing, protection, and self-love and intuition. And allow ourselves now to be open to, through space and time, I create a golden bubble around Dee and Jon. Through every dimension of us, setting the intention that only energies and entities with our permission, our highest good love and compassion, can see us, access us, or exist within this space or within us, and that all other energies and entities must leave us immediately. We invite in Dee and my guides, our higher selves, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Source, and Gaia. And just allow our energies, the energies of our guides, to enter the space. Just bear with me a second. And I'd like to ask one of these guides to step forwards to assist us. In today's session, we're here to clear, to heal, to activate, and provide Dee with any messages that will help her in her journey at this time. And I'm seeing this guide step forwards. She is appearing as a white mist, is how she first showed herself, and then becoming, like, taking form as a very bright white being. She's showing herself like she's made of air, like her whole body is like this, lighter than a ghost, lighter than steam or smoke. She's like this very high vibration energy, but she's dense enough that you could just about hold her. You could give her a hug, and at least for a moment, you'd feel the resistance of her humanoid body before you kind of, your hands and arms would pass through her. And she's saying that she'd like to bring through more of herself. She'd like to show more of herself in the session today. At first, she'd like me to go through an energy scan and remove anything from you, Dee, that's not serving your highest good. Okay. And yeah, she's going to help us on the journey. So from the highest dimension of source above, I bring down a column of golden light to just above Dee's crown chakra, setting the intention to clear, to heal, to energize, to activate, to provide Dee with any messages that she needs at this time. And just bringing this down now to your crown chakra. Your crown chakra is being shown to me like this. It's like a castle, there's like a castle wall at the front, and it's like a golden castle. So these are big, huge stone, like golden blocks, like giant bricks, that the stones that hold up the castle wall. And parts of it are strong, and parts of it have broken and fallen down. And it's a blend of, it's like we're being shown a metaphor, but then also this is also in part reality. Part of this is the stronger parts of your ability to communicate with other beings, and to perceive. And then the bits that are broken are, it's like they show that they have dual purpose. One is to, as they've crumbled down, they have a lower defense, but then they also allow freer communication through them. And your air guide, she's saying, like me, like I can flow between these stones. I can flow freely through the castle walls, through your defenses. But she's saying that it's not quite right. Like it needs to be healed, and so your castle walls to like be rebuilt, but then to have like a drawbridge, like a big opening, like a big door where you can continue to have communication in and out, and then also up through the top as well. It's like it's almost like a crown, and so okay, so it is a crown, and so the top is open, just like a giant castle turret. The top is open to the sky, open to the high vibration energies, your guides. Okay. So I'm just going to come around the edges, around these castle walls of your crown chakra, and just pick up these golden blocks that have fallen, put them back together. Mia no kotomochi tisimia kamoa. And as I place them in, I'm cementing them in. Armia takumo no shinimiya maka. And they will never fall again. Just bringing in some golden light. And I'm seeing like the damage was after, it's like you'd had a battle, like a psychic battle, and then you'd like in a fit of rage, you're like, what is the use of this thing? Like if you guys aren't going to talk to me through my crown chakra, and it's like you'd from the inside, it's like you'd kicked over these sides of the castle wall, just holding space for that. That's a long time ago that happened. Good. It's looking more connected now. And then I'm just looking in at the like this entrance. So to allow you to continue to connect through each of your chakras down into the third eye chakra, continuing to the lower chakras, just allowing that connection. Making sure that you have all the protection you want in place, but at the same time giving you the flexibility and versatility to communicate with whatever you choose to. And I'm threading a golden thread from the center of your crown chakra and just connecting that up to the sixth dimension. Okay, so your air guide, she's come down from the sixth dimension into the fifth, and as she came into the fifth, she couldn't hold form, which is why she's showing herself as this air, this mist. So connecting this into your air guide. Okay, and just allowing her to rise up, back up to the sixth dimension. And as she comes up to the sixth dimension, she's more showing herself more now as a golden being. It's like she's made of liquid gold. She's become denser. It's more like a plasma gold, still able to like float around and fly around. Really beautiful. Let's keep going down to your third eye chakra. Can you share with me, Dee, some of the recent experiences you've had with with your with your sight, with your metaphysical sight, with your third eye?
Yeah, I saw what looked like a scroll tablet, and it had the animals on it. So there was a dragon, a rabbit, a hare, and they were popping one at a time out at me, like
Mm,
leaping the tablet into the air. And I see lots and lots of faces of people. I think they were my guides. I'm not sure. There were so
mm,
many of them. Like each one of them, I thanked them individually as they were coming up for making themselves seen. And I keep seeing mountains separating with like water running through them. I don't know what that
mm.
means.
That's really beautiful. When I was shown your third eye,
Yeah,
it had like a wound across it, like an energetic wound, and it's like if you've been um, struck in the face with, I'm seeing like a sword or with an axe,
yeah,
then it would cut diagonally across the third eye chakra, and it's resulting at the moment in partial sight. But I don't think you've had in this lifetime you've not had more sight. So it's like a bit like if you were born with one eye and you didn't know
I
that.
didn't know.
Sorry,
No, I wouldn't have known any different.
that's right. Yeah. And so we're just going to bring in some healing energy. Again, it's an old, very old wound. I feel like you've been in previous lives and still used your third eye with this wound. Like you've used it, you've managed to adjust and use it okay. Let's just bring in healing. Is it's ready for healing now? Hmm. And there's this small entity. It's also quite old and it's lying across where the scar was. It was like feeding on the scar tissue. So I'm just going to remove this gently, pulling forward my light sword, shrinking it down nice and small, setting the intention to only remove what does not serve Dee's highest good, to protect her in every dimension of her. It's very gentle. This way. Archangel Michael, please return to source or never return here again. Thank you. And the entity was just saying, I was enjoying that. It's like, why are you removing me? Okay, let's see. What's good? It's like I'm seeing like new skin under your third eye, this where the scar was, as the entity was removed. It's like you've actually been healed for quite some time, but you've just been blocked by that scar tissue and then the entity that was attached. And the entity, in part, was also helping you, like it was helping you from stopping to try and use your third eye. And by doing that, whether you consider it to be intentional or accidental, it was helping you heal underneath while it fed on the scar tissue.
Makes sense. Energy exchange, right?
That's right.
Something
Yeah.
for them.
So this should help, especially with your guides, especially with the higher vibrations. It's the higher half of your third eye. So those experiences that you've been having so far, as you're ready to receive them, they will become more vivid for you.
That'll be amazing.
And your crown chakra, like I feel like you're really excited and intrigued by what you're experiencing, what you're seeing, and at the same time, there's a little bit of anticipation, sometimes a little bit of fear. It's like, well, what is all this? Like, what's happening to me? And a deeper connection with your guides will help with that. Both that knowing that you can ask these questions and get some sort of answer,
Yeah, I
and
find
also
comfort
to,
knowing I can.
sorry, say again.
I find comfort in knowing that I can.
Yeah.
Say, "Oh, this is a lot, guys. Can you help me a little? Take some of this weight, please."
And I feel like you mentioned that there were scrolls that
Yeah,
you have the ability to be able to read some of these,
yeah.
um and that they may not be in English, and that's okay. You may see them in like light
There
codes or light language.
were three. One was animals, one was astrological, and one was a language.
That's fantastic. And there are connections between each of them.
Yeah, they seem to be, because they were in a specific space, seem to be set for a reason, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, you're being invited to, it's like I call them like uh, galactic detective work, right?
Yeah,
You get given a bit of a challenge about, you see a glimpse of something, and then you feel like you're going on a kind of Indiana Jones adventure to try and find out some more answers on the journey. And you'll be invited to just seek out those signs. Sometimes you'll get some words or some visuals from your guides. Sometimes you'll experience it directly yourself, either in waking time or meditation or dream time, anytime. Just encourage you to follow those signs. Some of those animals you may see, some of the codes in the scrolls you may also see. And you said the other was it astrological signs, or was it
it
like
was,
constellations?
yeah, constellations with a breakdown. Looked like a map almost. Interesting.
Yeah.
Beautifully crafted. And as you run your finger across it, it lit up for you. I don't know if that's the light from me shining on it, or I don't know if that was it doing it itself. But as you touched it, it turned from like a normal stone limb to like it illuminated, like the color of it would pop out, so you could read it clearly.
Mhm. Yeah, just before you said like a map, I saw it exactly as that. Like there's a technology to it. It's an ancient technology, and it is a
Yeah,
mapping of
yeah.
of the universe.
That's what it felt like. This is how the animals work. This is how the stars work. This is how the people work.
Yeah.
So,
There's it reminded me of a movie from the 80s. It's one of my favorite movies, and it's called Time Bandits. And it's about a kid and these guys that go around like mapping and creating the universe, and they get up to all kinds of mayhem. It's really funny, but it reminded me the map that is like really central to the movie. It's like the most valuable thing, and it feels like there's many things you can do with this map, like this navigation system. It is both a technology and like a physical thing that you can pick up, like like a big kind of flexible tablet. And one of the first things you could consider doing is finding the locations of your previous lives. You don't need to find them all, but finding some of them.
It's pretty cool.
Is super cool. It never occurred to me that there could be a map of the universe. And it's intelligence, like it because the universe is constantly changing and moving.
Yeah.
It also, and the map knows this and reflects that. So it's like this energy first. It's like a mirror of the universe, so you can see where everything is at any one time.
That's what it felt like.
So yeah, let's hold on to that. Hold on to that feeling and those visuals that you have. We'll continue on, just coming down to the throat chakra. You're saying a not very, it's like a version of you that's not very far in the future, like just a month or two. Um, you said to me, the stories I could tell you, the stories I could tell you. And this is you like describing the adventures that you've both been on. And I'd say adventures like ranging from trauma to some happiest times of your life so far. And then also what's coming for you is really exciting. It's like we're meeting again. It's like a kind of future echo in a few months' time.
Yeah, well, I will definitely want to keep in contact with you. So that makes sense.
And this also relates to um how you feel about others, like how much you'd like to be able to share with others and some of the frustration sometimes that we all feel when others just don't really get it.
Yeah.
They're not there yet on their journeys, and or their journeys just don't take them, like they've decided not to go that far on their journey.
It's my intention to try and make it so that it doesn't become as overwhelming or anything to step into the spiritual
Mm,
side. And I want to make it so that it's relatable. I intend to write a
yeah,
book or something to be able to do that, that people can just flow into it, you know?
that's really beautiful. The world needs this so much. And there's two keys to assist you with that. One is this this self love and self empowerment journey that you're going through. A lot of us find it difficult to connect with new concepts when there's any notion of us giving away power to any third party being, or anything external to us.
Especially
So
when
for
you've had
instance,
hard to get it.
even sorry.
But especially when you've had to fight so hard to get your self-worth or self-respect and stuff
Yeah,
back. Yeah.
that's right. And so even working with angels like Archangel Michael, people can perceive that as being giving your power away to some other religious entity. And
No, I
I
want to
feel like,
make him see that it's no different to having a bunch of friends around for some tea and cake.
yeah, I love that. Um,
No
yeah,
different.
like seeing the angels as equals, same as your guides, same as
Yeah,
every living thing.
I mean, I
So
respect them for what they are, the guides, the angels, but they are, they're an equal. To me, I see that. They shouldn't be treated, as you're higher, therefore you should have this. Because that's not
yeah,
okay. That's not how it works.
that's right.
You accept people for who they are. The same goes in the other realms, right?
Yeah,
Same rule to me, anyway.
and the second key that can assist you is the storytelling. Um, Imagine, like when we watch movies and we believe, or we suspend belief during the movie, and then at the end you're told that it's a true story. You've
Yeah.
been open-hearted and open-minded to receive the the whole story without judging it or judging its credibility. And I feel like that's like it's one of the things you will do is you will weave stories through your
Exactly
work with people.
how I was going to. I was going to do excerpts of things, and then at the back, they were first just a book of wisdom, and then at the back would be a blurb about my journey and how I learned that wisdom. So they will read it as a thing for motivational advice, like any other book. And then at the back, they'll see that it's my story, and it will hit a spark in them.
Oh, I love that.
That's how I intend to do it. So make it relatable, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just checking through your throat chakra. Yep, that's looking good. And then coming down into the high heart and heart chakra. And I see in your heart, like you're doing a lot of work. And
Yeah,
I want to congratulate you on that. And
thank
you are showing me what it was before, like you're taking me back to our previous session and before that,
you.
and you're
Yeah,
showing me like that hard graft, and it's like your heart um was so much darker overall, and now there's this, like, it's almost like a level, and it's diagonal also, but it's diagonal in the opposite way that we saw the wound on your third eye chakra, and it's like it's just continuing. It's like you feel like you've now passed this kind of point of like this major milestone of passing like halfway. I see like 40% and less, and you're it's like you've learned now how to face this shadow work.
yeah.
And I just want to acknowledge how hard that is. It's an incredibly hard journey,
Thank
and that
you.
you're doing so well.
Thank you.
And just to keep going, let me see if I can help you at all this time. And your what was your air guide, now your golden guide. She's saying to me, there are keys in there. There's so part of your kind of treasure hunt that you go on with this map is you're going to find these keys within this darkness in your the remaining darkness in your heart, or the darkness that you want to work through and remove. And almost like if you had a harbor filled with water or a basin filled with water, and then you gradually drained that away, it revealed these like golden keys. There's there's three keys. There's two that are kind of floating, and then there's one that's lying across the bottom of the heart chakra. And the two that are floating are just floating in the darkness, like they're currently out of your visibility. And the two keys, I'm just asking, like I'm so intrigued. It's like, sure, give us more than just there's keys. Um, so as you continue to do shadow work and working on your self love, you're going to expose the very tip of the first of three keys. And as soon as you see the tip of it, you're going to have this feeling. You're going to know, like, there's this connection between the shadow work you're doing, the self love that you're doing, and then also a location in space and time.
That's pretty cool. I look
And so
forward.
you're gonna use your map to help. When you get the key, it's like you place the key on the map, um, and then the map will show you where in space time that this exists, and allow you to meditate on it. Or you can even like place it. You can just like place your hand on your heart just before you go to sleep at night, and perhaps be ready to journal in the morning what you experience.
That'll be incredible.
I'm just asking how much I can share with you. It's unlocking that that process will allow you to unlock the key to your self love, and it's a lot about self forgiveness, and you'll be taken to a story, a journey that will allow you to see why a lot of the later trauma that happened in later lives and up until this lifetime, to put them in perspective, to help understand, and to help you overcome some of that judgment that you place on yourself.
That'd be incredible. That gets heavy sometimes.
And I feel this the second key, like we're not going to be shown anything at this time other than it's like a continued theme of self improvement. And the third key, intriguingly, is like it's like you may or may not decide to expose it. It's almost like it's large. It's larger than the other two. It's like twice the size, and it as it lies on the bottom of your heart chakra, you may or may not decide to use it. It's like there's so much magic to it. There's so much how to describe it. It's a bit like carrying around a surprise present with you. Like it's there. The magic's always there. You could open it at any time that you choose to, and yet you may not choose to because you just
You miss
love
out.
that feeling. It's like
Yeah.
Christmas every day. It's like, here's my present. I've got it. But you'll just feel guided. You'll feel guided to open that at the right time for you. Just going to take a closer look around the heart chakra. And yeah, just where you've been doing that shadow work and removing what doesn't serve your highest good. It's going to bring in some healing energy. Just those more sensitive areas. In your heart chakra, I thought I was seeing sparkles. And then as I look more closely, they're like stars, like they are stars. There's this universe inside your heart.
Yeah. No, it was there.
And so this is also connected to the map, is that both the universe within your heart and the universe outside of your heart are reflections of each other.
Yeah, I literally said that last night.
Fantastic. It's really magical.
Thank you.
You're going to learn one of your superpowers is you're going to learn how to manifest within your heart, within the universe, within you,
Oh,
like
really?
manifest a story, a journey, or an experience, or even something physical like a star. And
Oh,
as you do that, it'll be reflected in the outside universe, a bit like you could create a star in the night sky. And your guide is saying, why? She's saying, why do you think I'm made of gold, John? Um, because she's like a mirror of one of your gifts. She also has this ability. And yeah, like I'm seeing like these golden stars in the night sky. So when you're writing a book or when you're telling a story, it creates this this magic in people's hearts,
Yeah.
and and they're able to reflect that outside of them. Like it starts within and then it's reflected outside of
Everything
them.
said, people are like, okay, that's perception, and they take it and they think about it, and then they come back to me with what my work's done for their soul in terms of growth every time. So I believe that fully.
Fabulous. And you can invite them to in your stories to see that that we create the night sky, the darkness, as much as we create the stars.
We do. I want to teach them not to be afraid of the things they cannot see,
Yeah,
like the night, like the thing, because it's just a part of us. That's all.
fabulous. Let's continue on to the solar plexus. I was being shown um, a sword that is like a light weapon. It had been used against you, and been pushed down through your chakras, and the very tip of it had entered your solar plexus. But there was no evidence in the other chakras, like the other chakras have healed, although it in part explains the the damage to your crown chakra that we've been healing. I'm just focusing on the tip of the sword as it was like directed at the very center of the solar plexus chakra. It was an attempt at it's like a psychic battle, physical and psychic battle that you're in, and the sword tip, the very tip of the blade, was intended to touch the solar plexus and then deactivate
Yeah,
the
that makes
solar plexus.
sense.
And that deactivation was intended to make you feel just empty and unable to receive abundance and unable to create and to give. But it didn't quite succeed. Like it just seemed to it's like it took away about 90% of your ability of your solar plexus. And it just very gradually you've been continuing to heal that. And then especially recently, like when you've been doing this hard work on yourself,
Yeah,
doing your shadow work, it's like you can see it now. You can see the growth. You can see that there is self-love, there is abundance, there's the ability to give and receive. So I'm going to encourage your solar plexus chakra to connect out to the outside circle of itself and just allow itself to become aware of all of it, its full capability, just encouraging that continued healing and growth. I was seeing this effect where your solar plexus had been, I think it was intentional. You've been uh, like it was almost like you're draining um, the energy from the space and time around you. It's like we can naturally receive abundance, but you also had this ability to be able to kind of draw it in.
Yeah.
And that others didn't like this. Like that was part of the reason for this battle, and to try and deactivate your solar plexus.
Of course, I was shared everything I had. There have been people that would have been against that.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. The vacuum is created by this like constant giving, and then it causing this kind of draft to then draw in more abundance.
Yeah.
Encouraging you to just feel into that cycle. When we give, we receive. When we give, we receive. But when we give so much, too fast a pace, we can't always receive fast enough to keep up with it. And there's
No.
no right or wrong, just the right pace for you at any given time. And that as you continue to grow your self-love and practice your self-care, that this balance will return naturally to you. But to be aware of also of this gift, like there's times that you may choose to accelerate it, perhaps for short periods of time. Just to be aware of the space you need to create around that activity for healing,
Maybe
rebalancing.
protection whilst I'm doing that, yeah. I will.
Yeah, good. And coming down to sacral chakra. I'm seeing there's a little blue flame in your sacral chakra. It's very natural. It's very nurturing. And it's the birthing of a new version of you. It's the birthing of your future self. And as you're on your galactic detective mission, encouraging you to be aware that there's things you can do to um a bit like following the white rabbit. Like you're going to see some of these signs, and some, not all, some will have, especially to begin with, flames or the color blue, or sometimes you'll see you'll see that like in your third eye, or kind of overlaid, like superimposed over your two um 3D eyes, for lack of better terms. Like you'll see these kind of little blue orbs around things, and it's a sign really to for you to consider that as a potential area to investigate, to feel into, and to consider its potential of rebirthing. And so that means, for example, um, if you were being drawn on your detective work to a castle, and you might see it on a map, or you might see it, pictures of it, or you might just see visions of it. Um, but the castle could be in ruins. When you're seeing these blue frequencies,
Yeah.
just feel into the potential of that, of you helping that be reborn.
I'll bear that in mind.
And also for you to be um to be protective of your sacral chakra as a mother of your own passion and your fire, your self-love, just bringing this feeling of self-love around sacral chakra, healing any trauma, anything, any power you've ever given away, and to know that healing can be not just 100% recovery, it can continue on, continued growth, continued evolution and development, ascension. And there are answers, some of the answers that you seek are, they lay within your sacral chakra. And one thing you could do during meditation is just place your left hand on your sacral chakra and your right hand on your heart. And this
Something I do.
allows energy from your sacral chakra to receive into your heart, like listening with your heart to your sacral chakra. And coming down to the root chakra. You're saying to me with your root chakra that it takes a bit of getting used to being on planet Earth. The planet Earth is like it's not alien to you. Like you get that it's where your body, where D is from, that you're a child of this earth.
Yeah.
But there's so much of your soul memory in your previous lifetime is so used to different planets. It's like Earth at the moment feels quite, I just hear like wet and then heavy, and there's just in the soil, including where you live, like you feel this this heaviness, like it's just saturated with this
Yeah.
darker energy, and you find that hard to. It's like whenever someone like me, or you're encouraging yourself to ground into Earth, you're experiencing some challenges with that, like that connection.
Yeah.
So a guy is saying to me, she said my skin is like a teenager, right? It's like this kind of spotty skin with these toxins just
Yeah.
at the skin level, and she's encouraging you to go deeper, to connect, to ground into her heart, and also to see that this is part of Gaia's and our journey, that as we go through this kind of adolescence of humanity, we will together be clearing, and you'll be part of this. You'll be part of this energetic and toxic energy clearing of the surface of the planet. And as the frequency rises, both you will find it easier to ground and connect, but others will also. So I'm just going to take your connection to the ground, just encouraging the root chakra to connect deep to Gaia's heart, and to be aware of there's a lot that exists below the surface. There are realms. There are different realms with different dimensions below the surface of the earth. And the reason we say realms and dimensions is because there's some physical attributes like large underground caves, not a hollow earth, but caves that are vast, but that they are also of different dimensions, and so they don't quite fit in Earth at this current size and shape and vibration, but they are in partial existence. They're like, they exist, but they're out of phase. And this is to help you on your galactic detective work understand that realms don't need to be almost like a fairy realm. They don't need to be to entirely make sense to our logical minds. but the knowing, you will find them in these places, and you'll find beings that live there. And as you connect with them, you'll understand more about how this is even possible. And Agartha is one place for you to look underground.
I look forward to that.
In Agartha, there is a great library, and it's like the Akashic records. In Agartha, you can travel there, so you can do it in meditation, or you can ask to do this in dream time and ask your guides to assist you as you visit the great library there. It has these huge big doors that you open up and you go inside, and you'll experience, like the Akashic records, you'll experience different books and stories for you to connect with. What's different to the Akashic records is that in Agartha, you've chosen to separate and place books there. It's like it's like part of the treasure hunt for you,
I
like
would
your
love that.
future self and your past self has done this.
My
Um,
favorite in the world is the library. All the books.
yeah,
Mm.
and oh, I'm just getting tingles up my spine. That key that we saw in that the third key that sits in your
Yeah,
heart,
yeah.
it's connected to it unlocks something like I was asking if it's the library of Agartha. It's not. It might be in Agartha. I feel like you'll very quickly, as you move past the first two keys, you'll very quickly learn the location of the third. Like that's not going to be hard for you. But it does unlock like a vast array of stories and lifetimes and magic. Um, and I love that because it's also a place that you unlock where you can visit and you can take others.
I would love that. Oh, I would love it. To be able to spark that joy into people, that would be incredible.
Yeah, just checking on your root chakra now. So we're being asked to just we're going to take a step back for a few moments and take a look at your home and then the ground around you, the grid work that flows around you. Let me just zoom out a bit. I'm being shown people. I was. It's a strange thing to say. People like you. What does that mean? So just people that are aware of energy, and there may be some of them still in this lifetime, in this space time, but they date back for a few hundred years, and they would. I see them, and it's still echoing into the present. Their work where they they're aware of a lot of the dark energy that's going on around in the town, um, the nearby villages. So to go back a few hundred years, and a few of them would work together, like sometimes three or four of them, and I just see their bodies, and they're able to suck in this energy from around them, this dark energy, and then they channel it down through their chakras. So it's a very kind of intimate process. They bring the energy into themselves and then they push it down like these columns, these dark columns of energy into the ground. And their intention is to clear the energy. They're trying to send it to Gaia for her to transmute. And Guy is like she's telling me this whole story that their intention, like initially she worked with them to do this, but they started doing it wrong. They started sending the energy down just not deep enough, and so just into the it's like into the crust, like into the skin of the planet. And okay, so one of those people, one of those entities was actually working against the others, and they didn't know it. And its dark intention was to actually saturate the streets and the land with this darkness, and that's why it was being kept at the very surface so that it couldn't be taken down and transmuted. It needs to go something like about 5 meters down before it can be transmuted. And so they were poisoning the land. And that entity was and is like they're quite formidable. They're aware of me as I saw them. But they're also like like an echo, almost like a ghost of themselves now, an imprint, only partially in this reality. And I'm asking what we should do. A guy is saying, give me them, pass them to me, give them to me, I'll deal with them." Um, Let me just get a second opinion. Okay, so I'm going to for this one dark entity, I'm just going to disconnect its connection into Earth, what remains of it. Archangel Michael, please return to source and never return here again. And it's chosen to return to source. It was ready. It was in a very strange kind of almost like a chrysalis, like before caterpillars turn into butterflies. And then let's look at this dark energy. Yeah, so where it was connected, I'm just going to bring in this energy. And if you have any awareness of this dark energy and how far out it expands around the land around your home and then around the streets, and I see like I feel like it goes really far.
Yeah.
I feel like it could be felt as far as your place specifically to be there at the epicenter near where this dark entity was, but it expands out to almost 50 miles in a
Oh,
radius around you. Like if you were sensitive, you could feel the edges of it at about 50 miles.
that's the whole city. And
Yeah,
then some.
yeah. And
Yeah.
so I'd like you to see, just visualize this hole, this drain of where this energy was connected to this dark entity. And we're going to just push that down into Mother Gaia. We're going to push it down quite deep, about a mile deep into her. And this is where she's the most absorbent and can transmute this energy. Just pushing it down now. Kama I tomoto koromio maha arnia mau iyama. Just widening that channel to send down the energy. There's a huge mass of it. Inumo kotono rumiyama takasiti timio konoromo tuti simi tekamo. I don't really recognize this language, but I know it's connected to the druids that both you and I have been in the past, and we're calling in
Yeah, just
our
saying
brothers
it.
and sisters to assist.
Mm-hmm. What I feel like I'm doing.
Arni un ichimiato marani ti kimiti kisini omo al na mauro di mahi emo u mara I tsene ki erama u. We call on our druid brothers and sisters, and every being that chooses to assist us for the highest good of all, to assist in the transmuting of this energy, removing it from people's homes, from people, from the ground, bringing in love and compassion, forgiveness in its place, draining it down to Mother Earth. Mother Gaia is already beginning the transmutation process, alchemizing this energy like fertilizer, which is actually going to transmute all this energy over the coming days. And she's going to bring it back up to the surface as like energetic food for this whole area again, to saturate this whole area with this love energy. And it's going to have an effect on quite a few people. It's going to help really allow people, a lot of people, to connect and into these higher vibrations and disconnect out of these lower vibrations.
That's so beautiful.
And you're this is your land, this is your area, T. This is why you're placed where you are. You're here at this time to assist all these people in this 50-mile radius. And you're going to wake up. You're waking up others around you, all at different times. All those people that have chosen, their souls have chosen in this lifetime to awaken. You're allowing them to now really break free. And it's a journey for them. It's not, they may awaken somewhat overnight, but their journey takes a while. And you're being encouraged to think of all these people. There's thousands that are affected by this. And for those that choose to awaken, I'm just curious, I'm asking, like, what is the percentage that awaken? It's 28%. Seven times four. More than enough to shift. 4 times more than enough to shift the whole area.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's
It really is.
we're so used to such misery that like news like that, you're like, really? Wow, that's incredible.
That's beautiful.
It really is incredible. And this is what the world needs. The world is not going to survive with only about 7% awakening. 7% is about enough to significantly change the world, but it needs to be faster. And this isn't time, this is energy. There needs to be more momentum built. And this is why Gaia has chosen all these souls and been inviting so many souls in at this time to awaken. And they're going to find you, Dee, because you're going to both resonate out this energy each day. A lot of it's just being you. It's like, in fact, all of it is just being you, being the whole of you. There'll be some things you do that are, grander and reach more people than others, and they might surprise you more than others.
Festival of Me keeps coming to my head. I'm gonna do a festival of me, and it's gonna be all about being who you are, liberating that. It's
Oh,
gonna be
I
all
love
about
that.
completion.
As you said that, I saw these tents in a big park, and then you could go into the tents and experience like the inner
Exactly.
child of you, or the
Mm-hmm.
the writer or the singer.
Yes, that's
Like,
exactly how I just saw it. Festival of Me, and a big green area with tents everywhere, people laughing, just freedom.
yeah, and the freedom to tell their stories.
Exactly. Sharing circles and things. Yeah. Unity, right?
Sorry.
Unity.
Yeah, I just hear you saying, "Hi, I'm Dee, and this is my story."
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you're doing like an opening presentation, and then others, like after they've been through their experiences, they stand up and do it as well. Like they say, "Hi, I'm John. Here's my story.
Love that.
I'll come if you invite me. I'll
Yes,
come.
of course.
It'd be super
Absolutely.
fun."
Everybody welcome.
And I'm just asking what else you can do for the energetic grid in the area. So your guide, your golden guide, she's saying the grid in your area is broken, like it is in parts almost non-existent. And the grid is like I see it as like well, a few different dimensions all at once. One is I see it as like these energetic rivers that flow above and below the surface, and they transport energy, allowing it to flow freely around the planet between all the critical parts of the planet. And you're quite close to the heart of Gaia, and the energy, the grid where you live is like one of the arteries energetic arteries that feeds the heart chakra.
Then I'm all for it. Tell me what I gotta do. I'll get it done.
And you may hear people talk of Hawaii as the heart chakra of the planet, but it's not where it should be, and it was uh, close to the center of England. And as Gaia continues to ascend, this is where her heart chakra is reawakening. And
I got you guys. We got
we got this. And so I'm just going to work with your guide a minute. And what we're going to do is she's going to, just like on computer circuit boards, uh, she's going to lay down these like golden tracks and connect just on the outside points of this 50-mile radius, the grid, which was just kind of bleeding into this big kind of black goo that was there before, to now make those reconnections. And this time she's gonna help us reconnect in alignment. So they're going to align with the streets and the landscape as it is today, which is really helpful. There's no, how do you describe it? Like there's no feng shui blockages for the grid. And it's like she's just painting the landscape now with these golden tracks to lay the foundations of the grid to reconnect and reheal. These golden tracks they're not permanent. They just, it's like they ignite the reconnection, a bit like a nerve ending being able to grow back from
oh,
either end. And so she's just allowing each part of the grid on either side. Like there's one to your north and one to your south. Like they're like really strong. Just reconnecting these back together. And so sometimes you're going to be outside and you're going to be walking around and you'll find yourself either consciously being guided to go in a different direction than you expected,
Yeah, that,
or you'll find yourself going in the wrong direction completely and be
that
surprised
happens
by
too.
it.
That happens too. And I'm like, oh, at least I found some bed or a spider web or somewhere good to eat.
And you're being called to do this because you're assisting with those connections when you do
Ah,
this.
I see. So not to get flustered because I'm 30 minutes in the wrong direction. But to know.
That's right, yeah. Just to know that underneath that very human response, that there is a purpose, that you've been drawn there, just like there's a purpose of why you live where you live. You may not live there for forever. You may move on to other places, but in this moment, in this now moment, you're in the perfect place. And in
I'm so
every now
grateful.
moment, you'll be in the perfect place.
I'm so grateful for that.
All of this is a mirror of there's reflections between the land and the grid that we've been helping reconnect, and your heart, and then also this universe outside of us that you have this map for.
Yes.
And so there's this mapping element to the work that you do with the grid as well. And
It's interesting because you're saying that, and I've been seeing the stars. I've just saw the map in the sky with the universe, saw the map underneath the same grid layout, and the
yeah,
stars are the same in both spaces.
that's right. That's exactly it. Just like the Giza pyramids align with, or certainly did align with Orion's belt, like they are reflections.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. Where we have wildflowers, we have stars.
Yeah,
There's dandelions in the concrete, they're the stars breaking through.
that's right.
That's why you find flowers everywhere.
It's really beautiful. And in your practice as being a human and being out and about, in your area and even in your home, encouraging you to become aware of the grids. So perhaps do like a, when you often it's subconscious, like you just look outside or you look up the weather on your phone or TV, and you're aware of the weather outside. Also feel into what is the weather of the grid at that time.
Yeah, I can.
How does the energy feel? Is it light? Is it dark? Which directions is it flowing and where? And know that whilst you're like a caretaker of this energy, you're here to help the grid repair and to grow again, and to allow that ease of flow of energy. You're not a gatekeeper, so you're not responsible for all the dark stuff that flows through it, or the stuff that you wish didn't happen. Like you're
Yeah, of course.
a big part of your role is also to observe, and to experience, and then when you're guided to, you'll feel it strongly. Like you'll feel strong guidance to do grid work, at any time that it feels right. And yeah, you're being encouraged, like you're saying about the flowers growing up, between like the slabs and concrete. Like as the grid in your area continues to heal, you're going to see it reflected in the sky, and perhaps in unexpected ways. And not all of it like physical. You'll see some of it with your third eye also. And it's a great treasure hunt as well to
Beautiful.
if you enjoy looking at the stars. I'm just seeing if there's anything else we can help with at this time. Your your golden guide. So she's saying she'd like to she'd like for you to practice um, just speaking to each of your guides individually, identifying their names.
Yeah, I would love to learn their names and be able to. I look forward to doing all of that.
Yeah. And so we'll do some of this in the training as well.
Yeah, that would be
And
incredible.
the spoiler alert is that you can in meditation just ask your guides, um, all eight of them as they are at this time, to just line up in front of you. I always imagine it like a Hollywood movie premiere, and they line up for like the photos. Um, so you can line them up, and then one at a time walk up to them in your mind's eye, and walk up really close. You know, give them a hug, have a look at their features, and just see what they look like. And it takes a bit of practice. You might feel nothing. You might feel something. You might, it might be sensations and emotions, not so visual, or knowing you and your progression of your third eye, you might see like parts of them. Um, Starting with the eyes is very helpful. They're not. I was just checking to see if there are any of them humanoid or humans, should I say? You like your eighth guide is saying, "I'm a druid, but we're not quite human." It's like, oh, that makes sense. Thanks.
Learn something.
But yeah, so that's one way you can do it. Just walk up to them, get close to them, ask them to step forwards into your vision, and to show themselves up close. Just try and describe, like you could just try and describe out loud what you're seeing, and then ask for their name. I always like shake their hand and like do the kind of formal thing, but you can choose what you want to do.
I'd
Um,
have them coming into the kitchen table, just coming through the door, and greeting them as they're coming in.
love that. Yeah, fantastic. Well, that's us almost at time. Is there any questions you have before we finish?
No, just that it was incredible. It's been beautiful.
Thank you. It was, yeah, really magical.
Thank you so much.
I'm so excited. Like, I can't wait to hear about your galactic detective
I
work.
know, right?
It's a big hobby of mine. I'm sometimes I feel like I always feel conflicted somewhere between I wish I'd just find out the answer, and then the other part of it is, but I love the hunting.
About
So
the journey, isn't
yeah,
it?
exactly. Fantastic. Okay, well, I'll bring this session to a close, thanking our guides, our higher selves, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, ancestors and higher selves, every soul that's participated in the session today. We thank you. And we wish Dee to have a continued healing and integration of both these gifts and these healings at the right pace for her. Get plenty of rest and drink plenty of water. And for all those souls that we have touched in today's session in this huge area around where Dee lives, we send our love and our compassion and wish you well in your activations, integrations, whatever you choose, whether you awaken or not. and just asking Dee and I, we're just stepping out of the golden bubble of the session. Archangel Michael, please return to source. Return here again. Thank you. And coming back to being John again, being a human. I usually try and think of something. I know, I'll give my dog a treat. That always brings me back.
Yeah.
Brings me back to the moment. Hey, Patch. There you go, Patch. Oh, he's totally fallen asleep.
Oh.
Oh, poor thing. Patch. There we go. He's woken up. He was like making lots of funny noises earlier. I don't know if can I show him? He's so
Yeah,
cute
of
on the
course you
floor.
can. Hello. Oh, look at him. Oh, I'm in love. You're so beautiful.
He is gorgeous. He's
Oh,
12 now.
oh,
But he looks like I call him like
listen.
a grandpa puppy
Oh,
because he is also grandpa, like I think like 4 times over.
oh, wow. Go on, Patch.
That's right. Yeah, no. Oh, he doesn't need any encouragement. He's not been neutered, and that's like his superpower. It's like stop.
Thank you so much. That's so beautiful.
No,
And I
thank
knew you
you.
were going to say 50, and I knew you were going to say 28. I could feel it.
Wow. Yeah, that
That's,
was really shockingly beautiful news. Like that's
yes,
great news for everybody.
yes, yeah. There's a reason I
Because
stuck in London.
exactly, yeah. I know we're all here for a reason, but it's like, when you're waking up every day in the same place and you're like, but really why? Like, why am I here? Why?
Why? Nothing about me wants to be here. Apparently, everything.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and if you can have a positive effect there where you are now, then,
One of the biggest
everywhere else
capitals.
is so much easier, right?
Exactly. It's one of the biggest capitals. So,
Yeah,
in terms of population and stuff. So, yeah.
definitely. Well, thank you so much. I'll send on the recording and I'll look
Yeah.
forward to seeing you on Friday.
Okay. Thank you. Take care. Yeah. Enjoy
Thank
your
you.
week.
Thank you. You too. Send hello. Bye.
Bye.